Since 1968, Maggie Motors has been the place to find new and certified used vehicles. Along with a knowledgeable and helpful sales staff, you, the customer, are their number one priority. Find new roads at Maggie Motors in Lake City. Maggie Ragaller with your Weaver Rockets joining us here in the Maggie Motors postgame show. Find new roads at Maggie Motors in Lake City. Rockets fall here tonight 11-4, but Maggie had a really nice night at the plate, and I thought she played well defensively, but she didn't tend to agree with me here. Let's start with you at the plate here tonight. How did you feel? Because even though you didn't get hits every time you came up, you hit the ball hard. A couple of times it just happened to be at somebody.
Yeah, I've been struggling kind of for the past couple of weeks, so I'm just trying to fix a couple things. And after I have a really big stance apparently, and I don't know why I do it, but when I actually take the focus, I can actually hit the ball pretty well.
So what did you change tonight to adjust?
Well, I kind of stood because she's pretty fast, and I knew she was pretty accurate for the most part, but I just kept my legs as close as possible because when I try to swing hard, my leg goes wherever it wants.
So you just kind of don't control that front leg, and that kind of affects you a little bit. Which at bat did you feel like was your best here tonight? Was it the triple, or did you have one other one that maybe you thought was a better actual at bat?
I like the triple just because it's a triple, but I like the one that went. That was a line drive right up the middle, but Vanessa got to it, so that one felt pretty good, solid.
Now, you told me you didn't think you played real well defensively. What did you feel like you didn't do well here tonight? 'Cause I told you I thought you did pretty well.
At the beginning, I wasn't really reading the ball right because, in warm-ups, they're kind of bouncing, but they weren't when they were hitting them. So I was judging them as they were coming up, but they went right under my glove. So
as you guys head into the postseason coming up Friday night, Storm Lake St. Mary's in that opening round up at Emmetsburg, what's this team need to focus on? You got a couple of days to practice, Wednesday and Thursday, to get ready. What do you need to focus on?
I think we just need to get the bats going right away and keep it consistent, and then got to limit the errors for the most part.
I feel like this team's kind of starting to round into shape a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
Battling now with some injuries and even missing Jamie now.
Yes.
So how does this team adjust to that, do you think?
I think, there's a lot of young ones, but it'll be good for us, especially in the future, now that they get a little bit more experience as they play.
Well, I tell you what, Maggie, always fun to catch up with you. Appreciate you joining us here tonight. Congrats on the triple and on the defensive effort here tonight.
Thank you.
You've had Maggie Ragaller joining us. We're going to get head coach Kenzie Kock sliding here into the postgame area. And Kenzie, I did not ask Maggie this, but that 6-run first inning, the difference here really in the ballgame for you tonight, kind of what do you think happened there early on?
We tend to give up quite a bit of runs or put a bunch of people on base. It's kind of been the story all year long. We're either walking quite a few and putting them on, and then they're getting hits to knock them in, or we give up way too many errors from the start. Shirky and I were talking, that would have totally been a different ball game, I think, had we eliminated that first inning, those 6 runs. So, they play very well in between, but it's the story of our Weaver softball. Unfortunately, we have a couple innings where we kind of, I don't want to say get down, but, don't really have the focus or that want to make those outs. I talked to them a little bit, too, after the game. We are very young.
Right.
We are very young. So it's getting that attitude or that drive that you want the ball to come to you and you want to go get it. We do a lot of sitting back on a couple of those little dinky hits or those bunts. We are very late getting off our feet and getting up to go get those. So all around, it's just kind of being a little more proactive and wanting the ball, and I think that would change our mentality and help us out quite a bit.
Had to like the answer, though, in the second inning, coming out and getting a couple of runs. Kind of got you right back into the game.
Absolutely. They've done a lot better. It took us a little bit, but we're finally getting in the rhythm of our swings. Shirky and I, again, talked the other day, and, these girls bat every single day, whether we have practice, whether it's before a game, during a game. So they're finally getting a feel for their swings and kind of understanding what it's like to hit a good ball. Previously in the season, we were making contact, but not solid contact. So we weren't, hitting those good balls, but we're starting to get in the rhythm. You have a couple girls that get in a funk kind of in the middle, and so they struggle a little bit with, that mentality and getting up in the plate and knowing what they want to hit. So they're kind of figuring it out. Maggie had mentioned that too, that she struggled a little bit, but she's figuring it out, and it's a good time to be doing that. So
Amber Ragaller wasn't expected to probably be your number one starter in the circle coming into the year. So how have you seen her grow? Just a freshman, kind of thrown into the fire this year,
Yep.
but she's gotten to have probably improved and just even more mentally strong right now.
Yep. If you know Amber, anybody knows Amber, she is a very, very quiet girl.
Yes.
She doesn't say much, but she will do anything that is asked of her. Amber is a very coachable
Yep.
young lady. And her stepping into pitch, again, like you said, she probably didn't expect to, but she has risen to that challenge. Even if she's struggling, she doesn't let it get her down. If we start her and we move her anywhere else, she's going to play that next position 20 times better. She really has stepped up. I'm tougher on her because some of those times, she needs to dig deep, and all we ask of her is to throw strikes. We don't expect her. She doesn't really have any extra pitches. She just puts the ball there. Her being there gives us our best defensive option. We've played with a lot of different combinations, rotations of girls, and it works out a little bit better when we can keep Maggie in the infield to field some balls for us and Amber to put the ball down the middle. So she's done a great job, and she's like I said, risen to that challenge. So
Storm Lake St. Mary's to open up the postseason now on Friday. What do you do against them up at Emmetsburg on Friday night?
I've talked to the girls. When we played Boyer Valley and we played West Harrison this last time, it's probably the best softball I've seen them play all year long. And I told them to keep in mind how they felt before the game started and while they played it, because sometimes I think we go and we're here to play softball, but we're not really in that game mindset. We're not ready to play. And those two games stick out in my mind because I heard them on the way there that they were ready, to kick some butt, and they were ready to go out there and do what they do. So it all starts with that mentality. They have to want to come in, they have to want to win, and they have to want to do the little things right. And it all starts, in that mental game first, and then the rest of it will come. So we kind of prepare that way, and we do the things in between. We have practice the next couple nights, so we'll get to work on some situational stuff maybe that we saw tonight or this last week or the week before, and just kind of fine-tune those things and go after them. So.
Well, Coach, appreciate you joining us here tonight. Best of luck, and we'll have Tyler Bruner up there with that broadcast coming up
Perfect.
on Friday night.
Yep, thank you very much.
You bet. Head coach Kenzie Kock again with you. Our Weaver.